So it's been over 2 years since I've talked about, covered, or even looked at DK Oldies. And for those of you who don't know who DK Oldies is, they are a online retro video game store that saw a lot of controversy surrounding their business practices over 2 years ago, where some of the biggest YouTubers on the platform were covering their scandals. Now, I hate to toot my own horn and to brag a little bit, but I was actually one of the first channels on YouTube to really do a deep dive and cover DK Oldies and their online store. And I didn't do it because I knew that they were going to be bad. I didn't know anything about DK Oldies. I literally just kept seeing them pop up on social media relentlessly on every platform to finally I was just like, who the hell is DK Oldies and what are they about? So I got this bright idea one night sitting in my garage having a cigarette, thinking to myself, what if we covered DK Oldies and checked out their online store and see what they're all about? I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea whether they were going to be any good, fair prices, good products, no clue. So I decided to literally just sit in front of the camera, bring up their website, look at their prices, take a look at their return policies if they offered any kind of warranties, and let the audience be the judge for themselves. Now, DK Oldies, yes, they are an online store, but the reason why they were under the spotlight for so long, it seemed like back then, was because they had such a large social media presence, and they still do to this day. But you would see them in a lot of short form content across TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, where it would be one of their employees, the face of the company. He's not the owner, but his name is Joey. He would basically do a video where he would pack up people's orders, and you got to see all types of cool consoles and retro video games. And they would give away a free gift at the end of every video. And honestly, it's pretty wholesome. I mean, I do enjoy their content. I'm not going to sit here and shit on their content. It's actually entertaining and kind of therapeutic to watch. And Joey, like, let's just be honest, guys. Joey seems like a really nice guy. It just seems like he just works there. He's not the owner. He's not the one who implements any of the rules or the business practices that DK Oldies puts in place. So no hate at all towards Joey. I know he's in the thumbnail, but it's because he's the most recognizable person at the company. He literally is like the face on all of their social media videos. And so, of course, I'm going to use Joey because the minute you see his face, you know what the hell I'm going to be talking about. But it's been over 2 years. And basically, the controversy behind DK Oldies, and I can already see people in the comments, and we'll get to that in a second, is not only were at the time they extremely overpriced on just about everything. Now, yes, you could find some games that were at or right above market, which wasn't too terrible, but their consoles were absolutely astronomical when it came to prices. And it was so mind blowing. One off the top of my head that I just remember was they used to sell an original Xbox for around $300. Same thing with one of their GameCube bundles that came with, I believe, Smash Brothers and Mario Kart Double Dash, and you got the console, and it was like $300. And so I was kind of taken back when I did that first video because I didn't realize like how expensive they really were. And I was kind of, it was the first time seeing their website, and it was a genuine reaction to the prices, and it kind of blew me away. But then some more controversy surrounded DK Oldies shortly after my video came out, where there were creators who were buying their consoles, having them broken open, or they would take them open to see if DK Oldies was truly refurbishing their consoles. Because if you looked on their website advertised their consoles as cleaned and refurbished. Now, to me, refurbished means that every console is opened, they are deep cleaned, and they are repaired if needed. And it was proven by multiple creators that that wasn't the case, that you would open these consoles, they would be dusty, dirty, bugs, cobwebs, and things would be broken. And to me, that's false advertisement. So that was huge when, back then. Like people were kind of just like crucifying DK Oldies, and rightfully so. I mean, you can't advertise something as refurbished. And what I said back then it still holds true today. You can't advertise something as refurbished, but you're not refurbishing anything. You didn't even open the console up. Now, had they had listed the consoles condition wise as used, it wouldn't have been a big deal, but you can't say something's refurbished and you didn't even open the damn thing up. So that was a big deal. I know that there were some civil lawsuits being put together. I don't know. I covered a video on that. If you want to go back and watch any of the archived videos on DK Oldies, they're all still here on the channel. But yeah, I don't know if anything ever came of that. If anything was ever made public about that, I'm not sure. I know that there were lawsuits being filed, but again, I don't know what ended up happening with that. So yeah, guys, it's been over 2 years since we've talked about DK Oldies, and I'm not gonna lie, the DK Oldies series here on this channel is what kind of helped the channel take off a little bit and help me meet a lot of you guys. So it's been over 2 years. I want to revisit it. Is DK Oldies still a scam in 2025? We're going to look at their website. We're going to do a brief overview of their website, see if their prices have gotten a little better with the market. Now, guys, don't get me wrong. I don't expect them to be as low as eBay prices. They still are a business with employees, with overhead. They got electricity and rent on the building and water and garbage. They got to pay health insurance. They got to pay for their employees' wages. So I get it. They should be a little bit higher than price charting values or eBay prices, right? Because they do have overhead. But there's a difference between doing that, like pricing slightly above market, and just being absolutely insane, like an original Xbox for $300. I would say that DK Oldies should be priced more along the lines of most mom and pop retro stores, right? Because when you go into a mom and pop retro store, most of the time you could find a retro console for about $100, and usually a retro game store would sell it for about $130, maybe even $150's kind of pushing it. But when you're selling a console for 2 or 3 times its value, that's when it gets a little bit scummy to me. And let's be honest, guys, the people that are shopping at DK Oldies are not your everyday, retro collectors. It's not the people that know what they truly have or what things are truly worth. When you type in video games or retro video games for sale, they're like either the first or one of the first pages that comes up. So a lot of casuals, people that aren't collectors, people that don't really know the market, they see that, they see the 1-year warranty that's slapped on there, and they buy that Nintendo GameCube for $300 for little Jimmy because they have no fucking idea what they're doing. And those are the types of people, the soccer moms and the grandparents that DK Oldies was preying on back then. But you know what? Let's try to give them the benefit of the doubt. It's been well over 2 years since we've taken a look. So let's take a little dive and stroll down memory lane and see if things have gotten any better with DK Oldies. So let's go on over to their website. All right, you guys. So the website looks exactly the same as it did over 2 years ago. It hasn't changed. It doesn't look bad. It's exactly the same. Nothing's changed. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of their console prices, some of their games, and see if I would shop here in 2025. So let's go ahead and scroll through. So usually here, these are like their latest deals that they're gonna have. Right here on the front page is usually you'll see a bunch of consoles. So right here we have a Nintendo Wii for $70, and that honestly, if I'm remembering correctly, is significantly cheaper than what they used to sell the Nintendo Wii for. The Nintendo Wii, I believe they were selling it for close to $150. And then over here you have the Nintendo 64 for $160. $160 is still way overpriced in my opinion. You can pick up a Nintendo 64 for anywhere from like $70 to $100. I don't even know any retro game stores around me that would sell it this high. Usually they're about $120 to $130 in store. $160, I don't know, man. I don't know if you could really justify, $60. Let's take a look. Does it come with the expansion pack? See, and that's another thing that people, had big gripes about, and I do too. When you're buying a console, right, especially at these high prices, the fact that they're not including the factory or OEM controllers, the Nintendo controllers, the PlayStation controllers, the Xbox controllers, the first party controllers, it says right here, you get 2 new replica controllers. So you get some knockoff fucking Chinese garbage, right? For this $160 plus tax price tag. Now, I know that DK Oldies offers free shipping on orders this high, which is, I guess, nice. But if you wanted to get real controllers, it's an extra $40. So now this is where we're at. Now we're at $200 for a Nintendo 64. Fucking wild, dude. Like, literally, it's crazy to me. $200 if you want real controllers, not fucking this garbage right here. It doesn't even say Nintendo here. That's how you can tell it is the third party knockoffs. Yeah, that's crazy. Let's go ahead and go back to the main menu. You have the NES for $100. That's not bad. That's usually what you're going to find them for at a game store. $100 is not bad. But again, that's including the knockoff controllers. If you want the real controllers, it's $120, which I guess for a game store, this one's not so egregious. This one's not so bad. But one thing that DK Oldies did, and they do on it seems like on all their products on their website, is you can see here, there's like an original price and it's like slashed out. And then they put the discounted price next to it. That's literally like every single product on their website. It's like, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's kind of illegal. Like, at least maybe in certain states. You can let me know down in the comments. But if I remember correctly, people were telling me that when you do this, when you like slash all the prices and make it seem like everything is like discounted all the time, when that was never your intentional price, you just did that so you would like trick people into thinking they were getting a deal. That's scummy and morally, I think it's shitty. But is it illegal at all what they're doing? Like, I don't know. Let me know down in the comments on that one. But yeah, you can still see here under condition, it says refurbished. I will not spend money at DK Oldies to find out. I'm just not going to do it. It's not worth it to me. And hey, what's going on, buddy? Daddy's making a video. You want to take my controller? Well, you can't take my phone. Can't take my phone, but you want the controller? You want this? There you go. I love you. All right, back to the video. I'm a dad, guys. It is what it is. My kids are going to run into the room and shit. So this one's not priced as egregiously. The Wii, actually, let's click on that because $70 actually seems really, really good. And right here, you can substitute an original white nunchuck. Now, this one comes with the system, sensor bar, system tray holder when it's available. Third-party remote with compatible nunchuck. Style may vary, and it's GameCube compatible. Guys, for $70, that's actually really not a bad price. I get it. Yeah, you can go to a flea market and get a Wii for like $20, right? They're like fucking paperweights everywhere. But, at a game store where they have overhead, $70 is not bad. Even at $80, right? Like, I don't see like retro mom and pop shops, at least in my area, selling a Wii with all of its components for under $80 anyway. So this one doesn't seem bad at all, if I'm being honest. Now, I want to go and look at the Nintendo GameCube. That's what I want to look at because they had that one Smash Brothers and Double Dash bundle pack that was like damn near $300, and that was insane. Here it is right here. Oh, it's still here. They haven't learned their fucking lesson. It's crazy. Here it is. Fan favorite GameCube Black Super Smash Kart pack for $350. And that's with fucking fake controllers. If you want the real controllers, you can pick your color, whether you want the platinum, the indigo, or the black colored controllers. It's $50 more. So for the measly price of $400, you can get a $100 GameCube console, a $60 Smash Brothers, and a $70 Mario Kart Double Dash. That's about what they go for, man. You can find Smash Bros and Mario Kart Double Dash on like Mercari and eBay for like 60 or $70 a piece all day long. So let's say they're 70 a piece, right? So okay, that would be $140. Let's say you find the GameCube console and you pay, they're about $80 to $100. Let's call it $100. So 140 plus 100 is $240 if you wanted to buy all of that. Usually on eBay or Mercari is what you're going to pay. They're charging $400. Holy shit. But are we surprised? It was that much 2 years ago. And clearly the complaints and the scrutiny that they were receiving was clearly not enough for them to have a change of heart. It's really wild to me. The other one I want to look at, guys, is I want to look at the original Xbox. The original Xbox was absolutely insane. Let's go to Xbox systems. And okay, so they've come down in price on the original Xbox. Okay, that's not bad. See, look at this. 250 bucks, right? $250 was the original price. Look at this. Now it's $220. And now they have condition. You can either select a good condition or an acceptable condition console. Acceptable is going to be $150. God damn. So you go from 220 for a good condition Xbox down to 150. So the acceptable one is like $70 cheaper. Why? Like, how bad is the condition of acceptable for it to be $70 cheaper? And if you want to substitute for a first party Xbox controller, it's an additional 10. So if you want a good condition console, which I'm assuming most of you would, but like, you know, some people don't give a shit if the console's scratched up. They just want to play their games, and that's fine. But you're for an OEM controller and the console in good condition, you're looking at $230, like plus tax. So you're probably looking at like 250, 260 bucks out the door for an original Xbox. I said this in my video 2 years ago. When I bought my original Xbox, which was shortly before I did that video, I was able to find one on Mercari with a stack of games and 2 controllers for about fucking 50, 60 bucks on Mercari. Now, I'm not saying you're going to find that deal every day, but an original Xbox should be no more than like $100 tops. And that's with an original controller. $250 for an original Xbox is absolutely fucking wild. And the fact that over 2 years later, all the shit that DK Oldies had been getting, nothing looks like it had changed. Yeah, the Wii has come down in price. The NES seems about on market, but dude, the original Xbox being $250, the GameCube being $400. $400. Like, you can buy a GameCube for $100, like all day long. A game store, like a mom and pop store with overhead like DK Oldies, you can get a fucking GameCube for like $120. Now, I know what some of you are going to say in the comments that watch this video. Wrecked, if you don't like the prices, don't shop there. Guys, I don't shop there. I'm never going to shop here. I would never fucking shop here, right? Because I know that I can get these at a better price, even on eBay, which is an effortless transition from website to website. I'm not making this video to be a total asshole. I'm making this video to revisit DK Oldies to see if all of the bullshit that they went through over 2 years ago has woke them the fuck up. Because let's be honest, their content is pretty good. I enjoy their content, right? But what I don't enjoy is feeling like they're ripping off the retro community. And now with their content being good and Joey and his staff that help him with the videos, with the fact that they're so like likable and lovable people, like, dude, DK Oldies could be like the kings of the retro market. They really could. Like, if they priced this at like mom and pop retro store prices, which they most definitely could, especially having the social media presence that they have and the popularity that they have from their videos, if they were priced fairly, and if they were really refurbishing every single console, because I'm sure they do open some, guys. I'm sure they do clean some. They have a whole cleaning section in their facility where they have employees working on stuff like that. But I am also sure that, you know, there's so many consoles coming in and out of that company's store that I'm sure some consoles and some employees are just like, fuck it, this one's fine, move to the next one. You know, they're not going to open it, you know, because most people don't open their consoles. Most casual, just everyday people will not open their shit up. They see the 1-year warranty, the console turns on, that's good enough for them. They don't expect, you know, every single fucking YouTuber to buy out their stock and to crack them open and talk about what a scam they are for false advertisement, saying things are refurbished when they're clearly not. So, but if DK Oldies changed their prices to reflect the market, they would be one of the most loved companies there are, because their videos are good. Joey seems like a super nice guy, like someone I could be friends with and nerd out with. He like seems cool as fuck. But again, Joey's not the one who implements the prices. He doesn't make the rules. He's not the owner. If I'm not mistaken, the owner is that used car salesman scumbag Drew, who's just fucked up. And, I'm sure, Joey, people are there for a paycheck, dude, especially in this economy. So, like, it is what it is, man. It's like, yeah, just don't fucking shop there. I make these videos so that I can inform you guys that there are better options out there. And if you've had bad experiences with DK Oldies, or if you're wondering why your console's fucked up, maybe crack it open. This video is to just help people and make people informed and well aware that even after 2 years and all of the drama surrounding their channel, they still haven't changed their prices or the way that they do things. And it's absolutely wild to me. And I can't believe it, man. Like, again, if I was the owner, damn well, with the social media presence that they have, if they were to drop their prices, yeah, they might lose money, but from what they would be getting, but maybe not, because they'd probably get more customers because the retro community would rally behind them because, hey, they're likable guys, they're content creators, and they make good content, and they are priced fairly, offer a 1-year warranty, and they're actually refurbishing their consoles. And look, if they don't have the manpower or the time to seriously open up every single console that comes through the door and actually refurbishing them, then right here, guys, where it says condition, instead of it saying refurbished, just put used, right? Like, you're offering a 1-year warranty anyway, so just put used and avoid all the drama and the conflict. You know what I mean? If it just says used and it's dirty inside, well, hey, man, that's how it was advertised. You still bought it. It has a warranty. If there's anything wrong with it, just go ahead and send it back. So, but for me, it's like, why wouldn't you just go to Mercari or eBay, or hell, even Facebook Marketplace, and then just buy the product off of eBay or Mercari? Because if you get a product that's broken, damaged, or not how it was described, then you have buyer protection on all of those websites anyway, and you'll get your money back. So you don't really have to worry about it. But, man, with DK Oldies, it's absolutely insane. Like, I can't believe how much they're charging. How much is the PlayStation 2? I'm just curious. The fuck, dude. Seriously? Look at this. The PlayStation 2, just the regular fat version with a first party controller. So if you want a real PlayStation 2 controller, $244.99. So $250 plus tax for a PlayStation 2. You guys, PlayStation 2s are literally, oh, dude, you can find them at the flea market all day long for like 20 to 40 bucks. Like, I bought a PlayStation 2 Slim for $5 like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. Like, dude, they're everywhere. Like, but in a game store, they're like $100, 120 on eBay. Like, dude, okay, let's just look really quickly. Okay, I have eBay pulled up here. Let's just look up a PlayStation 2 just to see what a PS2 goes for, right? So here you go, right here. PlayStation 2. Sony PlayStation 2 black. Console, controller, and cable. It's working. So it comes with all the hookups, a real PlayStation 2 controller, and the console. Says it's working. You have buyer protection through eBay for $79.83. So for $80, you can get a PlayStation 2 on eBay. And literally, I didn't even have to really scroll. It was right there. Then you go back to DK Oldies, the same exact thing, $250 plus tax. So you're looking at like $270 or so. Wild. Call me an asshole. You can say, well, just don't shop there. Why are you fucking with them? Because this right here is so blatantly egregious, and they are preying on people that don't know shit. And after 2 years, they still haven't fucking changed, and it drives me nuts. I would never shop at DK Oldies. Be smarter with your money and look elsewhere. I'm sorry, that's just my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. But I'm looking out for the retro community. Always have, always will, and I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I'm not going any further. Clearly, they haven't learned their lesson and they haven't changed, and it's a damn shame, because they could literally have the retro community in the palm of their fucking hands. Not only casual soccer moms buying from them, but they could have actual collectors, gamers, and YouTubers buying from them. But instead, they pull this dog shit, this overpriced bullshit. It's wild to me. Guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. We're going to jump back over here. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. It was, it's kind of funny to stroll back down memory lane, man. Again, the DK Oldie stuff is kind of what helped me take off a little bit and helped me reach my 10,000 subscribers, over 3 million views on the channel. That's not counting any of my other social medias. Means the world to me. I appreciate you all so much for tuning in. If you like modern video game or retro video game content, if you like talking head videos, if you like tier lists and ranking videos, if you like gaming news, if you like short form content or live streams, I do it all here on the channel. And I do my best to get whatever type of content I can out on a regular basis, whether it's long form videos, short form videos, or live streams. So, guys, thank you again so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and like the video, and leave a comment down below. What do you think of DK Oldies? And are you surprised that in 2025 they haven't changed? Because I'm not. Kind of figured it was going to be like that. And until next time, have a great night.